The leader of the Nation of Islam is set to sue a local daily after publishing remarks he considered defamatory and slanderous. Spiritual leader Minister Louis Farrakhan held a press conference this morning to set the record straight before heading back to the United States. Christina McNeil was there and filed this report.
Nation of Islam leader Minister Louis Farrakhan says his trip to the Bahamas turned hostile following a town hall-style meeting at the College of the Bahamas last week. Farrakhan says not only were his words taken out of context when quoted in the Tribune newspaper, but the article also called into question the freedom of the press in the Bahamas. Attorney Code Smith today read the words directly from the speech Farrakhan delivered to more than 200 College of the Bahamas students last week. The words, Farrakhan says, were taken out of context.
When I go, I come to do a job, to teach my people what God has blessed us to have to teach them. And I go back to my hotel. I'm not looking for sport. I'm not looking for play. So you can't send no woman to me except to learn. And I don't mean sex education. So I was in a place last night that was magnificently beautiful. And there were all these black people that came past the gate because Mr. Nygaard wanted them there on that piece of ground that most black people just keep driving by. These things were suggestive, especially when you take out of context this comment about women and sending women. And so these things are so reprehensible that I've been now instructed by my client, Mr. Farrakhan, to take steps toward finding legal remedy and recourse for this. It is injurious. Mr. Farrakhan is the spiritual and religious leader of an organization and of a group of people that frown on that kind of behavior.
The rest of Farrakhan's address went on to describe how in gated communities like the one he was invited to by Peter Nygaard, most black people do their work and leave at nighttime. That, he says, happens in our own land that he says Bahamians have paid a price for and is being sold right from under our feet. However, the article published in the Tribune about that address took a different angle, one that Farrakhan says was designed to be malicious and, in his view, slander his name.
To suggest in a mischief-making way that Mr. Nygaard invited me to his home to offer me women and play, but they quoted my words perfectly, but the spin that was put on my words was vicious and ugly and very untrue. And the reason I take umbrage at reading such an article, because the mischief inherent in that article is first to say that I came to this island and rebuked Mr. Nygaard. Second, all those on this island who have benefited from Mr. Nygaard's kindness.
Farrakhan says the angle the article took was designed to put him at odds with Nygaard, who hosted an event in his honor, and the black people he has come to teach. He added that he has something against evil, no matter who perpetrates it. And maybe the topics he mentioned during his lecture offended some who chose to lash out at him.
And maybe I offended somebody, and so my lecture on at the town hall meeting was never reported in any newspaper, to the best of my knowledge. Was it?
No, not yet.
So are you all bought and paid for? Is there something that I said that is untrue that you can call me a liar to my face?
Smith says he will seek legal recourse for his client. Meanwhile, both Smith and Farrakhan say the press in the Bahamas should be a free one and one that is free to carry out its responsibility as the fourth estate. Reporting for NB12, I'm Christina McNeil.